just another night for Supernatural Girlz. Real stories, real answers to life's biggest supernatural mysteries. And now for another exciting interview with paranormal experts from this world and others. Here's your host, paranormal researcher Patricia Baker, on the one, the only Supernatural Girlz.
Welcome, everyone, to another exciting episode of Supernatural Girlz Radio. I'm your host, Patricia Baker, and I am here with my co-host from Tucson, Patricia Kirkman. PK, how are you tonight?
A little drip dry, but outside of that, doing fine.
Are you ready for these holidays coming up?
Well, at least it's not snow. It's just soggy rain.
That's not a bad thing. Well, we have a wonderful show tonight. It's our Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays gift with psychic medium Jane Seybold. She's going to be offering free readings, guys and gals. So make sure that you sign into the chat room so you can ask your questions there. And you can also call in at 888-919-2355. Again, that is 888-919-2355. Now, just remember, when our illustrious producer picks up your call, you're going to be on a hot mic. So please keep everything quiet until we bring you on the air to speak with Jane. So that's my message for this evening about the show. But I can't wait to get Jane on. But first, we got to take care of business.
What kind of business are we in?
We are in the readings business. So people need to know that if they want to get a gift certificate for someone to have their numbers done, PK has gift certificates available on your website, right? patriciakirkman.com.
I do.
And you can also contact Patricia directly if you want to read it for yourself. So feel free to go to her website and see what she's offering. She's very accurate, very fun, and very insightful. So highly recommend your readings.
Thank you.
Yes.
But you know what? Do they realize that you're also a reader?
Well, I am. I'm also a reader. I'm also a life coach and help people with emotional issues, which I did for 20 years in my past life as a psychotherapist and dream analyst. So, yeah, we offer a lot to the people that want to come and work with us individually. So feel free to contact us. Our contact information is also on supernaturalgirlz.com. So feel free to email us right from the website. You can click on the link underneath each of our photos. It'll bring you right to us. And don't forget to subscribe to the Fringe Files. You can keep posted on all the cool stuff we're doing. Follow us on Twitter. Although Melissa's home this holiday season, so she won't be tweeting tonight. So anyways, I got to find out, though. What's going on with the numbers? Mercury retrograde. We got all kinds of stuff going on.
Yes. And today is 5-day, which is all about change. Good to bad, bad to good. Doesn't matter what we try to do, it gets turned around, tied up. But there is a luck factor that's gone with today. But it's like I was trying to get into certain things on the computer. Between the retrograde and the change or accidental changes, I've been stuck to the wall, unable to get through where I wanted to go. But there is still the luck factor that goes with it because changes do happen quickly, and this can be good. But tomorrow, think in terms of what you're going to do for the family because it's going to be about responsibilities, and you're going to do that with passion. Trust me. You're going to be looking for things to be perfect. And remember, unless you're asked for advice, do not give it tomorrow. It'll come back and bite you. You know where you sit.
Boy, that's been a theme these last few months.
Well, yes, it has. It comes and goes. But there's a lot of good ideas that they're going to have for decorating homes or working with things or getting things laid out for Christmas, which is good. But use their talents because there's a lot of things surrounding them with good ideas tomorrow. Take advantage of it.
Okay, I think I will. I will indeed.
Send out a few of your favorite recipes for others to gauge and work with over the holidays.
I've got so many great recipes. I should start posting them on our website because they're easy.
You should.
And they're good and they're nutritious. And oh my goodness, yeah, I probably should share those. And I also want to direct people back to our website because we have amazing things for sale. We've got great books like the one that we just talked about last week, Flashbacks by Sean Bart.
Yeah. That was a great book.
Yes. Yes, a new alien abduction story. We've got the Andreasen Affair listed there. That's an older abduction story, still excellent. We have Opus Mago Kabbalisticum, one of the great theosophical treatises, and it is there on our website. I had it translated by a professor at Smith College. So that's on our website. We've got some humor books, and let's not forget, I hate to bring it up, but it's property tax time, everybody.
Yes, it is.
And we've got the book for you. Are you getting screwed on your property taxes? How to find out and how to fix it. That's also on our website. Click right on it. It'll bring you to Amazon. That's a book that every single homeowner needs to have.
Agree. It is fabulous. It's got such good things for us to work with.
Oh, God, you need protection. And that's what this book is for. It's going to protect you from really getting screwed. So anyways, there's lots of fun stuff there. There's the humor book there that's about driving. It's just a nice variety in case you need some stocking stuffers or you just want to read something interesting. We've got it at supernaturalgirls.com. So just take a look over there and see if there's anything that piques your interest.
We have all kinds of things available to our favorite listeners, right?
We do. We do even have a mug, a Supernatural Girlz mug on Zazzle. You'll see that on our homepage if you need a coffee mug. It's a big one that you can drink a lot of coffee from, so it's perfect. I always need a lot of coffee in the morning. How about you?
Me too. I could swim in the pot. That's as much as I drink.
Well, the good news is they're saying if you drink 3 cups a day, it helps to prevent Alzheimer's, so...
Well, then I'm never going to get it. Oh, Lord.
That is good. That's right. That's right. Well, that's very good that you won't. I won't either. Not with 3 cups a day. So good. So tonight we are offering our listeners a wonderful gift. And the gift is a reading with Jane Seybold. Now, Jane is a wonderful psychic medium. And she's extremely talented. She did an energy clearing for me that was so wonderful. And it's just, she's great. She does more than just readings. She also speaks to people who have passed. She also does healing. So she's all around great. And we're lucky to have her tonight with us. So Jane, welcome to the show.
Hi, ladies. How are you?
We're good. We're good.
Thank you here. Happy to have you here, dear.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. Got a little drizzle up here, too.
And you're in Arizona as well, but you're further north?
Yeah, we are. We're in Phoenix area.
Oh, God.
She's in the city. I was in the country.
Okay. Oh, my. So, Jane, give us some history here. How did you get started in this?
Well, I would consider myself to be a reluctant medium because I never wanted to do this. I was raised in a strict Catholic family, and from a really early age, I think there's a common theme among most of us that we just don't fit in the family. And I never really knew what a black sheep was until I got older, but I think I was the black sheep of the family, and I still am.
Oh, my goodness. Really?
She's consistent. That's all there is to it.
Well, it's one of the things you and I were talking about off the air is that when people have a difficult family life, especially early on where they don't feel like they're a part of things, it kind of gives you permission to take a different path. And so I find a lot of people are like you. They're talented psychic mediums or they become shamans, and they never felt like they were really included in the family. Would you say that's true for you?
I would say it was very true for me, but for, what I went through was that, you have to give up what you didn't get. And I think, when I came to that realization that, I was never going to, fit, then it freed me. It really did. But, at about age 4, things really came naturally to me, and so I'd have, insights about people and places and things. And, I was about 4 years old when my mom told me, she was a nurse and she said, you should never talk about this. So I grew up thinking that there was something wrong with this. And, oh, yeah. And by about
feel like it was you, the situation. which is not good.
Well, you have to look back at that time period, and they didn't have the resources, and I'm certain that they didn't know what to call it,
Mm-hmm.
And so I think we tend to fear what we don't understand. And so,
But what was going on with you? Were you seeing people that had passed, or were you able to predict the future? What were you saying to your mother that freaked her out?
Things that would happen, like, we were going for a car ride, and, my mom had woke up, and she was like, I think 8 months pregnant at the time. She did not want to go, and I did not want to go downtown. We just felt that something was going to, happen. And my dad was like, no, we're going to go. And so we got in the car, and sure enough, we were hit by a cement truck.
Oh, no, my goodness.
Yeah.
And that sounds horrible. Were you all right? I mean, were you injured? What happened?
I hit the windshield, and I still have that place on my head, where I think that's how I really got knocked into the next world. But my mom, she was, they didn't think she was going to live. And at the time, they thought she was going to lose the baby. But, it was one of those times that when I look back on it, it was a very psychic experience for both of us. But, you didn't know what to call it then.
Mm-hmm. That's the scary part, because it made you feel like there was something wrong, as opposed to the fact that it was truly a gift.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then at 12 years of parochial school didn't help either.
Been there, done that. I understand.
Yeah. So by 7, I have my first communication, and it's with my grandmother. And thank God it was a wonderful experience, because it was truly heartwarming. And when I say beautiful, it was beyond anything that I could describe with words. And so, it kind of just left me with that feeling that no matter what I was being taught, I knew what was really true. But the 12 years of parochial school really left me conflicted about most everything, including myself, because we're taught that this isn't, the work that you should be doing.
Well, not only that, yeah. I mean, there's no room to talk about it with anybody in that day and age, in that religion, right?
Nope, no books, no TV, no Google, no prominent psychic meetings on the forefront to guide you.
No trust either from the others. That's for sure.
Well, they didn't know what it was. Bless their hearts. They didn't know what it was. And so, at that time, psychic medium was not cool. Now everybody's psychic. So, we've gone to the other, the other extreme.
Even some that aren't.
Well, they give it a good try.
Give me for effort then.
Oh, yeah.
But you're the real deal, so that's what's important.
That's right.
Well, I tried shutting it down, and that's what I run into a lot of people with, is they try and they shut it down because at, early childhood, it's not welcome because the parents don't understand it. And so a lot of them think that they can't reawaken it, but that's really not true, because, when the soul says it's time, it engages.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's really kind of what happened to me, is like, for me, it was a struggle from high school on, trying to balance this side of me, because I never really felt like I could connect with people, because I always had this to hide, you see, never knowing when it was going to come out. And things really shifted for me, when I met my husband in 99. And what was extraordinary about that was I didn't tell him I was like this.
Well, he got 2 for 1 on this one.
Yeah. What did he think when he found out? Was he supportive? He must have been, right? Or you wouldn't have married him.
Well, this was after I married him. His deceased wife started coming through. And so, I kind of just did the thing, and I, brought the information through. And I didn't know at the time that when I was bringing it through, that this was information that was only privy to the 2 of them. And so he's an engineer. And so you can imagine he had to get over the shock.
An engineer? Oh.
And a little on the anal side, as the engineers tend to be.
Oh, wow, Jane.
And so we had paranormal experiences in the house where she was a very dear fond of lilac. Okay. And so the house, like on my side, would fill up with lilac, and his side would have nothing. And so I would go to work and that would happen. And so, there was this communication that was taking place. And so, it became undeniable and irrefutable. And I think that's what it is with psychic mediumship, is that the evidence keeps, collecting and collecting and collecting until it becomes irrefutable. There's something that's happening here. And he did tell me, yes, Lucy, you have some explaining to do.
Oh my. So he had these paranormal experiences with you, and being very left brain, this must have really shaken him up.
It did. And then in 2007, it really kind of, my mother had passed, and we had this pact that when she passed, that, would she communicate, show me that the other side was real. And even though you communicate with it, you still want that tangible proof that you can see, or, Yep. And so it was on my birthday, actually. It was on my birthday in 2007. It was the best year of my life and the worst year of my life, because that's when we started getting these supernatural pictures. And they were absolutely extraordinary. We had one, we had talked about this before, but she would communicate with crosses, because when she was buried, I had taken the cross off my neck that my husband had given me, and I had put it in her casket. And so when we started taking these pictures, I started seeing crosses, and I thought, holy cow, here we go. So that was definitely a sign. And the other thing that she would do is she would take and make orb hearts that were in the shape of an orb. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it was great. And later that year, I had a tumor that they found out on my kidney, and they did the biopsy and found out it was cancer.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Jeez. So that was a surgical cure, I'm sure, because I know they don't really have anything else to treat that, right?
I actually went to John of God.
You did?
I did. I was sick for about 5 years.
That is a surgical cure, right?
Well, it's a psychic cure.
A psychic cure.
Yeah. That was an amazing experience. But, what was really interesting is that, when I found out, it was over like a 5-year period that, my health was deteriorating. And I, believe that the universe really speaks to us, and it gives us, these hints, like a whisper and then a knock on the door. And then if we really don't listen, we get the 2x4. And I got the 2x4 because I was in a job I really just didn't care to be in, but the money was wonderful. And I couldn't figure out, how we could live the lifestyle that we wanted to live, if I quit my job.
Wow.
You found out real easy, didn't you?
Well, I think it's called a reckoning. I think you have like a cancer, a loss, a death. I think it wakes you up into being fully conscious and fully awake. And, it was at that time that I decided to take life into my own hands and start living it the way that I was meant to live it.
Well, you didn't have to be the piñata. You could tell the rest of the world to put the sticks down. You're going to take care of yourself.
It's really not that easy because, when I got the cancer, I think it was an awakening for me, and it was a very good thing because the priorities that I had in life, they weren't working. And so I think it was Tony Robbins that said, nothing changes if nothing changes. And so it was kind of like an aha moment when I just realized that the priorities in life that I had they were screwed up. And so I really sat down and during that recovery time, I really started looking at me and I got that book, Heal Your Body by Louise Hay. Wonderful book.
Oh, isn't it though? That is a great book.
But you know what? What's attached to the kidneys? Anger and resentment. So it was a lot of, internal work that needed to be done. And, the other thing that, kind of came up during that period is that old saying that says, time heals everything. Oh, no, time doesn't heal everything, but acceptance heals everything.
Good one. Very good.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, here's a question from our chat room for you from Tessa, who would like to know, was there always a feeling that you were different from everyone else?
Oh, most definitely. And I should say that when I was really, really, really little, I thought everybody else could do this. And so it was when my mother had pulled me aside that it was confirmed that I was really different.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is quite an adventure you're on. All right, Jane.
I love it. I'm living the best part of my life now. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to ask you a question because I know our producers got people that'll be calling in at the top of the hour. But, PK and I had two other co-hosts that passed away.
Mm-hmm.
One was Helene Olson, who was one of the co-founders of the show. And we were wondering if you can tune into her to see what's going on with Helene these days. We really miss her. She was also a very talented psychic medium. She passed away quickly.
You said you had two co-hosts?
Yeah, we had two other co-hosts that died from cancer, and Helene was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what I was going to say, is who is the one that either was the cancer sign or had the cancer?
They both had cancer.
Okay.
But she was also a cancer sign. She was born
very good.
Yeah.
Who was the one that was taken by surprise by it? It's kind of like, I'm surprised.
Both of them were.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and one went quick?
Yes, Helene went very quickly, within 3 months of her diagnosis.
It was kind of like, she makes me feel like the card was punched and it was like, you know what, I'm going. But she's not very verbal about it. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, she was diagnosed and she went downhill pretty quickly.
Yeah. Who was the one that was either attached to the water or the water sign? I'm seeing water.
Oh, gosh.
Loved water, attached to water, lived by the water, water.
Well, Helene lived near the water.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who was the one that was always the one with the funny jokes?
I would guess that would be Becky. It really wasn't Helene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was too businesslike.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. She was more directed by the book.
Mm-hmm.
I think the joking could be a little bit, off color at times, but funny as heck.
Yeah, Becky had a good sense of humor.
Okay, good. So Becky was the other co-host?
Right.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. The body builds seem very different. Is that correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Is one kind of like 5'4", 5'5" or less? Patricia, what size are you? About 5'5"? Or 5'2"?
I'm a little tiny thing. I'm like 5'4" now. Well, I probably lost an inch, 5'3".
The show does that to us.
It happens, But let's see. Helene was probably around 5'6", and I would say Becky was about the same.
Yeah. Okay, so I was an inch off. But the body builds are definitely different. And did one have brown hair?
Yes, Helene did.
And a slight curl to it?
Yes.
Okay, very good. And one wore glasses, they look like they're coming on and off.
They both did that. Glasses were on, glasses were off. When you get older, those little reading glasses.
Oh, God, don't they, though?
No, I think one actually might have had contacts or something like that.
I can't answer that. I don't know.
You don't know.
But we're wondering, is there any message? I mean, what's Helene up to these days? What's Becky up to these days?
One showing, I can't tell the difference between the two, but the one is showing like a schedule. So she's very, very oriented in the scheduling. That's things still. Actually going outside her own boundaries right now, outside her own structured zone, because even though she was doing this, in some respects, she still had a very limited, it's almost like an invisible ceiling that she's showing me that she didn't go past. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's stretching out now, doing different things.
Okay.
And did one of them have a grandson? They're showing me a grandson? It sounds like the other girl.
Becky.
Yeah.
Had grandchildren, not just one.
Okay, she's specifically talking about a grandson, and she's bringing in the month of September. Is that a birthday, anniversary, or a passing?
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay.
She had a lot of grandkids.
Yes.
We couldn't keep track of them all, could we, PK?
Not at all.
Did one of them have someone that passed before they passed? It's like, and I can't figure out which one I have, but it's like somebody passed before they passed. And it was kind of like, and I feel like it was a male.
Doesn't ring a bell.
No, not for me either.
Okay.
But Helene did pass first, and then a couple of years later, Becky passed away. And it was a great loss to us because both were extremely talented psychic mediums. Becky had quite a connection with the angelic realm, as did Helene. But both of them, each of them had their unique connection with the other side. And they were both very powerful women. It was very sad when they passed, even though I've been told that Becky likes her freedom on the other side.
One must have really liked some type of floral smell too, because as you said that, there's a lot of floral smell coming through.
Probably Becky.
Was one like not from the Phoenix area, more, I want to say.
Neither one was from your area.
Okay. Was one East Coast and one kind of, let's see, what would that be? Mountain Central. Between Central and East Coast?
No, both East Coast.
Both East Coast. Okay.
But Helene was up near me, near the coast, basically, and Becky was down in the Virginia area. But both of them are on the east side. Okay. Same time zone. You had no problem connecting on the same time zone.
Lucky you. And I'm the odd man out. I was way out here.
Yeah. Well, we connected with you just fine, too. So.
That's right.
So it's just, we always ask psychic mediums that come on the show with us to see if they have any messages for us. We know that they're still watching and listening and wanted to know if they have anything exciting to share about what it's like on the other side. Becky was very much involved with extraterrestrials, and I'm sure she's exploring all of that even over there.
She's hold them accountable.
I think it's the spaceship ride.
That's true.
Well, it's like everything becomes known to us at the time that we have, at the time of death, we have the life review. And so then we're free to explore and do anything that we want. But which one of you ladies had the contact with the one that after she had passed?
Well, we all had, PK and I both had contact with Helene. Helene actually showed up on Becky's computer.
Right.
Which was amazing. It was just like this picture of Helene that showed up on Becky's computer.
Wow.
And then Becky's shown up a couple of times during shows that we've had here on Inception Radio Network. So, yes, Becky's been, she's appeared a couple times with us on the show.
Isn't that amazing when that happens?
Oh, gosh,
we love it. We love it. It's a part of who we are and what we do and what we know to be true. But yeah, it's great. And that's why we always check in with people like you to see, do they have anything else they want to share?
Well, what's going to be really interesting is that, what looks like, if you remember Star Trek when they would get in the little tube thing and they would say, beam me up, and they would kind of disintegrate.
Yeah, beam me up, Scotty.
Beam me up, Scotty. I really think that's where we're moving to. I truly believe you will see the holographic form, that comes into play in the near future, where communication from the other side will be just as easy as, turning on the computer.
Well, that's one of the things we were actually working on, the three of us, with actually having people that passed up here. So it's something that we all did together, and we were getting pretty close to having that happen, which is exciting. But anyways, everybody stay tuned. And if you want to call in for your reading with Jane, this is your chance. The number to call is 888-919-2355. And that's 888-919-2355. Or you can write your question for Jane in the chat room at irnchat.com. That's irnchat.com. So we are going to take a very short break, and we will be talking with you when we get back. Stay tuned, everyone. You're listening to Supernatural Girlz Radio.
You're listening to IRN, the Inception Radio Network, Chicago, Illinois.
You didn't forget what's coming up tonight, did you? Hi, Inception Radio Network listeners. This is Amanda. Never miss that interview you were looking forward to or the show on your favorite topic. Follow IRN on Twitter, I_R_N, and get reminders about the evening's live shows as well as fun and important updates throughout the week. That's I_R_N, and never miss a great show again.
My name is Ezra, and I'm from thehighend.org. You've heard of medical marijuana, but who can you trust for proper guidance? Here at thehighend.org, we have all the information you need. Did you know that scientists have discovered cannabis can reduce inflammation, pain, and spasms? It's helped my patients reduce the symptoms of autoimmune diseases, PTSD, autism, and insomnia. A compound from hemp called CBD is doing wonders for intestinal issues, anxiety, and the nervous system. I sell this compound at thehighend.org. I've worked as a medical marijuana consultant and educator for the past 6 years, and here at thehighend.org, I can help you choose from the hundreds of cannabis strains and products and find the ones that are best for your needs. To learn more about cannabis, schedule a Skype or phone consultation, or to have a CBD product shipped right to your door, visit thehighend.org. That's thehighend, all one word, .org. I'll help make your health high-end.
Hi, can you hear my voice? Imagine how many other people can hear it too. If you have advertising needs, then look no further. The Inception Radio Network currently has openings for on-air advertisements and radio show sponsorships. Given any thought to your target demographic? Inception has you covered there too. Advertising on a network gives you multiple opportunities to advertise on a wide variety of radio show broadcasts, and we have one to fit every advertising need. You know, in recent years, internet radio has exhibited a phenomenal listener growth. An Arbitron Edison survey shows that online radio boosts at least 33 million unique visitors each week and 54 million each month. And that number amazingly continues to grow. And these listeners are a part of many businesses' core demographics. And surveys have shown that internet radio listeners are far more likely than regular radio listeners to spend money on a whole range of activities. You know, internet listeners vote, they dine out and eat fast food, and they grab a cup of coffee. And here's the interesting one. They buy items online at a much higher rate than all other market segments combined. Internet radio also enables businesses to connect with consumers during work hours, where increasingly more lifestyle decisions are being made. Advertise with the best. The Inception Radio Network offers competitive advertising rates to fit just about anyone's advertising budget. Stop by today at www.inceptionradionetwork.com or call us toll-free at 1-888-919-2355. Get the word out. Get results with the Inception Radio Network.
Are you a fan of Inception Radio Network? Do you reckon it's the best alternative talk radio station on the planet? Well, if you do, head to facebook.com/Inception Radio Network and like the page. Tell your friends, spread the word, and keep listening to the best.
Hello, Inception Radio Network listeners. This is Amanda. Remember, you can take your Inception radio shows on the go Just download the Inception Radio Network app for your iPhone, iPad, or Android smartphones and access live shows, past shows, guest lineups, and much more. Just visit the iTunes Store or the Google Play Marketplace and download it today for free.
Your property tax bill. Have you seen it lately? It's frightening. Your property taxes are going up while your home value is going down. It's time to fight back and win. For the real truth about the property tax system, get attorney Pat Quintilian's book, Are You Getting Screwed on Your Property Taxes? How to Find Out and How to Fix It. Attorney Quintilian answers all your questions and gives you the facts you need to fight a property tax bill that is spiraling out of control. You'll also read about what happens to property owners who don't check their property records, only to find out too late they're taxed on square footage, fixtures, and even buildings that they don't own. Is this happening to you? Learn your rights. Buy attorney Pat Quintilian's book today. Are You Getting Screwed on Your Property Taxes? How to Find Out and How to Fix It. Available on Amazon.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to Supernatural Girlz Radio. I am your host, Patricia Baker. I am here with my co-host, PK. Right, PK, you're there?
I'm still here. I'm waiting for the spooks to get us off the air.
I know, really, we had some spooky stuff going on during the break. And we also have our psychic medium with us this evening, Jane Seybold, who is giving all of our listeners a wonderful gift. Just call in if you'd like a reading at 888-919-2355, or you can join us in the chat room and ask your question there. And that is irnchat.com. That's irnchat.com. Just remember, when Joe Champion, our wonderful producer, takes your call, that your mic is going to be hot. So please be as quiet as possible as you are waiting for Jane to speak with you. And we're going to take our first caller. Okay, Jane?
Ready.
All right. Our first caller tonight is Pat. Hello, Pat. Welcome to the show.
Hi. Thank you so much.
Hi, Pat.
Hi.
What's your question for Jane?
Well, I have been going through a real rough time for quite some time now, and things are getting worse. I'm just wondering if you see a change in the new year.
You know, Pat, this has been going on for a little bit of time, like over a year. So, this is all about letting go. And, some of us have, a little bit harder time with change, and that this is what it's all about. But the good news is that when you start to let go, that's when the change can happen. So that's when things are actually going to shift and get a whole lot better for you. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm not really sure what I need to let go of, but I understand what you're saying.
You have some relationships that are kind of dragging you down energetically. That would be number one where I would look at. Okay, and the way that we can tell when a relationship is starting to drag us down is when we're talking to someone and when we get done, we are really tired, or, we get in a cross mood. We're picking up the person's energy because they're draining it from us, you see? And so many times we won't think about that when we're talking to the person, but we're feeling the effects of it. So relationships would be really something for you to look at. The new year is going to bring a lot of change for you anyway, which I think is going to be good.
A lot of change what? I'm sorry.
The new year is going to bring a lot of change. What happens is that the universe, whether we're ready for change or not, if we can't move fast enough, then the universe starts stepping in and helps us move along the way. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, if you're moving in that direction, it's going to be a whole lot easier for you. And and I got to say, when we start to let go of the dead weight, we start to really feel good. So it's going to be a better year for you.
Okay. I can't think of the relation. I'm wondering, are you talking about below me where I do some volunteer work? Is that what's dragging me down?
You're pretty much of an empath. And so when you are around people that you absorb their energy. So if this is, this is a way of the universe of telling you, okay, either you need to shore up your field and be very cognizant when you're working that you don't let people drain your energy, or else you let go of that job. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, all the best to you, Pat. And thank you for calling in.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Uh-huh.
Come in here.
Jane, don't you often find, thank you, Pat, for calling, don't you find that a lot of empaths end up in situations where they're giving way too much and not getting enough for themselves?
Most definitely, but the thing of it is they don't recognize it. And so what happens is it's like a car that's, full of gas. It starts out full of gas, and then what happens is it's that the more you give, the more you give, the more you give, the more you start reducing your own vital energy, and it's very hard to replace if you don't know how to do it. So, the thing of it is recognizing, what's depleting your energy field, and either take, the action to shore up your field, or else let go of what you can't deal with.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So we have another caller on the line for you. Roseanne, are you with us?
Sure. Yes, I am. How you doing?
Good. Well, thank you for your call. And what's your question for Jane?
I'm just trying to figure out what my life is going to be like for 2017. I've had a kind of a crazy 2 years. I was in a position where I was fired and still dealing with that kind of nonsense. And I'm just wondering how I can just free myself and move ahead and have a back to normal life again.
Well, I totally get this, because it's, once again, it's kind of like when we don't move. Okay, let's talk about the firing, because before you got fired, the job really wasn't working for you, right? And so the universe starts. Yeah, well, the universe communicates with the whisper, and you weren't listening. Okay, and so it did the same thing with me. Then we get the knock on the door. You had gotten. It looked like that there was a meeting with them like a year to 2 years before this happened. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so what happened is that was a turning point for you to shift and change, but that didn't happen. So what happened is the last thing was the 2x4, which is the firing. But it just wasn't working for you. Right. So, if it's not working for you, it's kind of like you can look at it as, well, I feel bad because I got fired, or you can look at it as, thank God I'm free. Mm-hmm. And find something that you love. That's what happened. I mean, when I quit my job, I went in and I actually, after I recovered, went in, gave them my resignation, and just had them get together my papers so I could retire. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. It frees you up so that you can actually start moving in the pathway of living your life on purpose.
Oh, you're so right, because I felt so stuck for such a long time.
I know, but this unstuck you. I mean, it just unstuck you. I mean, so look, I would be looking at it as, thank God. Now, what do I love to do? And you're very much of a people person.
True.
Yeah, so look at what you love to do and start walking that path. Listen, I would have never chose this. It chose me. And so what I finally did is had the courage to walk it. And I'm saying the same to you.
Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
That was very inspiring.
Have an extraordinary 2017.
Oh, I will?
Yeah, because what you're doing, July is going to be a turning point for you.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's going to be a turning point. It's kind of like those aha moments of clarity. You go, oh, I get it. and you start moving in that direction. And then when you start moving in that direction, you just want to make sure you are the person that when the door closes, you want to nail it shut because you will go back to it.
Well, I'm not a quitter. That's the thing.
But the idea is to know when to quit.
Right.
Well, that's true.
That's why I said nail the door shut. That way you can't go back. You see what I'm saying? You can only go forward.
I do.
Awesome.
Right. Well, that's great. That's real encouraging.
Well, thank you for your call, hon.
Anything else out there? Am I going to hit Powerball or anything like that?
Well, you're going to have to talk to PK with the numbers.
Let's put it this way.
I asked her for the numbers myself.
I need the numbers, PK. I want to save a lot of wild horses.
Well, send me an email. I'll take a look at them for you.
You know what you will do is you will be introducing, I don't know how this is going to fit in, but to what you do, but there is frequencies that you're going to introduce to whatever you're doing now as a side, and that's going to actually make a significant change for you for the better.
Okay. Am I going to recognize these frequencies?
Frequencies is almost like music.
Ah.
And so what you do is when it happens, when you hear the music, we automatically start responding to that which our body or what we need on a spiritual level. You know what I'm saying? So I would say trust your guidance and go with it. Okay?
Okay.
Take care,
that's
sweetheart.
great. Hey, listen, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Really
Thanks for your
appreciate
call,
it. Good show,
Roseanne.
Patricia.
Thanks.
Thank you. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
It's so tough when you want the security of a job, because obviously people have bills to pay. Let's face it. There's a financial reality to having a job, even if you don't like it. So it makes it tough to leave, willingly, unless you have something else to jump into. A lot of people don't have that.
Well, but when you're choosing between your health and your job, you have to choose your health. Otherwise, you won't have a job.
Or life.
Right.
Yes.
And so
that's the way it goes, for sure.
That's what it's coming down to these days, because so many people are stressed in their jobs. They can't see, daylight. And so their bodies begins to suffer. And so it's like, what do you choose? Do you choose a job, or do you choose to find something that's, less stressful? Or can you learn to manage the stress?
Yeah, exactly. That's a really good point. So we have another caller on the line, and we also have some people in the chat room. We're going to get to all of you. So Jane is our next caller. Jane, are you there?
Yeah.
Jane? Hello? Okay, I don't hear Jane on the line. So we are going to take a question from Denise Clark-Kress, who is asking, she would like to know if you have any insights for her pet business in 2017.
Yeah, she just needs to be a little bit more careful about where she's putting the money, and be more targeting where she's advertising, because it seems to be, it's very, local. But if she can kind of pull those resources in so that she's more focused on, where the money is going and in the advertising, it's going to make a big difference.
Okay, excellent advice. Oh, yes. Okay, so we will take another caller, and this is Becky. Becky, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks.
What's
Hi,
your
Becky.
question for Jane?
Hi. How are y'all tonight?
We're doing great. It's good to hear your voice.
Thanks. You too.
What's your question for Jane tonight, Becky?
Yeah.
Well, I have, my husband's been ill for a pretty good while, and trying to discover what's going on with him, and it's really been draining me in a financial way. I'm hoping that this next year is going to look better for me. Can you see or feel anything about that?
Did you change doctors with him?
It's the VA.
Okay. I'm going to go back to this again. Did you change doctors with him? Because if you have not, then that's the next move.
Okay.
Because it's kind of like, I feel like I'm reading the same paragraph over and over again. There's no added information. It's kind of like I need to have a new set of eyes. And I just saw another eye looking in, so I need to have another set of eyes looking in on this.
Right. Well, actually, Jane, this is what we're doing is I asked for another, for him to be seen again by someone else. So I guess that would be.
That's the one.
Yes.
Actually, you're going to go, you'll get that one, and then it's the next one that will be the one that actually gives you the answers that you need.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, it really is being persistent, but his walking seems to be affected. Is that correct?
Yes.
I just feel like I have no energy, and I am having a very difficult time. I almost feel like sometimes it almost feels like a little bit of vertigo, but not. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not stable on my feet. Yeah.
Yeah. No, he does have vertigo, and he had his gallbladder removed a couple of years ago, and he's got extreme pain in exactly the same place, and they haven't found what's the matter. And I keep questioning them about it, and we haven't had any, haven't discovered anything. So he's ready to just give up and not go see anybody. And I keep pressing him that we've got to.
Well, we women have to, stand behind the guys and take them in, make the appointment, put them in the car, and just take them. Because otherwise, they don't go. I have the husband just like that. But, it's almost like he has two, I'm not a doctor, but it's almost like he's got two different things going on. One is it's like he's spatially having trouble, like with standing and walking. And then the other is like the pain in the lower area. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, well, actually, they had done a CT scan on his head too, and said that he was having mini strokes, and it affected his vision went away, and then he had his cataracts removed, and then his vision was okay for a couple of months, and then it went away again, and so I don't know. I'm wondering if that's not about the cataracts, that it's about the strokes that he's been having, because they're not, you look at him and he looks fine, but I don't think he's fine. And it's simple things that he can't hold on to, in his head.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not only that, but it's affecting the dexterity in his hands too. So there's a coordination issue.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like the only thing that I can suggest is be very persistent. And, you might want to, even if you can't get anywhere in the VA, take him outside the VA.
Okay.
But, certainly be persistent. And you have a birthday, anniversary, or passing coming up? I'm just seeing balloons.
Well, my birthday is New Year's Day.
Very good. Well, happy birthday to me. How old are you going to be?
Well, thanks. I'm going to be 60.
Well, congratulations. You sound wonderful. Thanks. And you sound like you've got, your energy is well intact as I'm looking at your field. So even though you're going through this, you're doing well going through it. So congratulations, okay? And best wishes to your husband, and that you find the answers, okay? But do be persistent.
Thank you.
Okay?
I will do it. Thank you. Right. Thanks so much. And thank you, Jane. Thank you, Patricia. And Patricia, I love you guys.
Oh, thank you. Have a good holiday, dear.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks for your call. Now, I have a couple of people again in the chat room. We've got more people on the line. Diane Dudenak is asking you, Jane, do you have any messages from anyone for me?
Would she like to give me a clue on who she would like to hear from?
Hey, Diane, write into us. Let us know. Is there anybody in particular you'd like to hear from? There's a lot of people on the other side.
Yeah, just a few. Just a few.
In the meantime, Starlight wants to know, are some of us so stubborn that we can never unlock our intuitive potentials?
Ooh.
That's a really good question.
Definitely.
That's a very good question. But here's the thing. The soul, when the soul awakens, you don't have a choice. You'll be moved in that direction. And if it's where your intuitive abilities are, aligned to click in, you're going to open. Mm-hmm. So to some degree, we have the choice of whether or not to follow that direction or not. But the soul is the driver in this respect.
That's kind of up there with ready or not. Here it comes.
Right.
It's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much it. It's like we can, many will choose to kind of just go along the path and, open up naturally. But then there are some of us that are resistant that actually go, we need a little bit more help. Like a kick in the butt.
Oh, one of those will work, or a big board.
Well, yeah, I had that. So, yeah, I know what that feeling. So back to Diane. So Diane says, my mother or my father? Mother seems to be very prominent. And so my question would be, a mother passed before father, is that correct? And the month of May is coming up, birthday, anniversary, or passing. And also, she just showed the Christmas tree. So the Christmas tree, this Christmas time of season must have been very special to her. So we'll wait for Diane to get back on that one. In the meantime,
good old retrograde is working on us.
Well, it's supposed to get better.
Oh, really? Have I got a surprise for you?
Oh, my goodness. We have another caller, and it's Vesna. Vesna, I'm going to ask you to wait till after the break because I don't want to have to cut your reading short. So, anyways, but this is, people, this is great. These are great questions for everybody to really be asking about. They're personal, they want more out of life. Everybody does. And it's great to be able to get some guidance from you, Jane, on what you're seeing from the other side and this side for people. But it's tough sometimes to let go. And people miss the ones that have passed who are over on the other side. So it's nice to get messages like this, especially this time of year.
Yep.
Yes.
That it is. It's important that we have that feeling or that connection and know that it's still okay.
Yeah, they're okay. They're on the other side, and they're still communicating. It sounds like this lady's mother is saying Merry Christmas to her, right?
Well, is this Diane we're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, so the May would be connected to the mother, not when she passed. It's connected to the mother. So that would be a birthday, anniversary, or passing. If it's Christmas that she liked, yes, it's just, usually it's bringing back fond memories, during the Christmas season.
Yeah,
which is really lovely. Yeah, because, they're always trying to communicate with us. Are we listening? and the funny thing of it is when they do communicate, then we don't believe it.
Isn't that the truth?
Then they come to somebody like me and they go, did you hear anything from my mom and my dad? And I say, well, yeah, this is what came through. And they're like, I know that. And I'm like, then why are you here? Because
you're right. People don't believe it. Yeah. Well, they went to Catholic school, perhaps.
You think? It's like my 5-year-old granddaughter. She'll come in and she sees a feather. She says, Grandma, there's a feather. Is that Grandpa now?
See that? But I think so many children are open to this, but they don't have the support to follow it through. And then there are children like you were, Jane, very talented in this arena, but get no support. In fact, being told not to talk about it. So it's just not an easy road. It's a lot easier today, I think.
Oh, yes.
For children than it was when we were kids.
Yeah, but the thing of it is that we don't teach children to trust what they get. And that's what really needs to shift, is that we encourage them to, have their insight and then go with it.
Yes, and that's what we need to do. So everybody, we're going to take a very short commercial break, and we're going to come back and do some more readings. And if you would like to write something in the chat room to Jane, feel free to do that. We will talk about it on the air for you, or you can call in at 888-919-2355. So either way, we're happy to hear from you tonight. This is our gift to you with Jane's help. And stay tuned, everybody. You are listening to Supernatural Girlz Radio. We'll be right back.
You're listening to IRN, the Inception Radio Network, Chicago, Illinois.
Hi, Inception Radio Network listeners. This is Amanda. Just a reminder that Inception Radio Network is on Twitter. Follow us at I_R_N and keep up to date about who's on tonight, what interviews they'll be doing, who's guest spotting, what topics they'll be covering. Tweet to us, tweet about us, retweet topics to your friends, and most importantly, never miss a great show again. That's I_R_N.
Have a computer? Is your internet connection down? Don't worry. Use your trusty cell phone or landline and call into our listen line at 401-283-6700 to listen to the Inception Radio Network 24/7. Again, that call-in number is 401-283-6700. For the Inception Radio Network, I am MJ.
My name is Ezra, and I'm from thehighendorg. You've heard of medical marijuana, but who can you trust for proper guidance? Here at thehighendorg, we have all the information you need. Did you know that scientists have discovered cannabis can reduce inflammation, pain, and spasms? It's helped my patients reduce the symptoms of autoimmune diseases, PTSD, autism, and insomnia. A compound from hemp called CBD is doing wonders for intestinal issues, anxiety, and the nervous system. I sell this compound at thehighendorg. I've worked as a medical marijuana consultant and educator for the past 6 years, and here at thehighendorg, I can help you choose from the hundreds of cannabis strains and products and find the ones that are best for your needs. To learn more about cannabis, schedule a Skype or phone consultation, or to have a CBD product shipped right to your door, visit thehighendorg. That's the high end, all one word, .org. I'll help make your health high-end.
Hello, Inception Radio Network. Would you like your favorite show to be played again live on air? Well, now the choice is in your hands with IRN's live request portal, an easy way to request your favorite show with a simple click. IRN's live request portal now gives you exclusive access to all the shows. How easy is it? Simply type a show name or a guest name, click request, even write a dedication message, and that's it. Try it now. Simply visit InceptionRadioNetwork.com, click on the live request tab under the show menu. Now playing your favorite show is just a mouse click away.
Are you a fan of Inception Radio Network? Do you reckon it's the best alternative talk radio station on the planet? Well, if you do, head to facebook.com/Inception Radio Network and like the page. Tell your friends, spread the word, and keep listening to the best.
Are you ready for a new experience of freedom and powerful connection? Would you like a positive, effortless change in your life? Then come to CosmicFusion.com, where we offer the most advanced energy clearing and expansion techniques in the world, with a quantum vortex energy to activate your divine blueprint and life's purpose. When your soul leads the way with cosmic fusion and quantum vortex energy, you can break clear of past difficulties and blocks with the power of the source. With cosmic fusion, the source energy does the work for you. It's easy and effortless.
Listen to our free meditation right from our Cosmic Fusion website, the Cosmic Code Meditation. Sign up for one of our interactive webinars today. Come to Cosmic Fusion, www.kosmicfusion.com, to experience an effortless awakening and transformation. Are you ready for an upgrade? Are you ready for a new experience of living in the fifth dimensional magic and powerful connection? Then visit CosmicFusion.com today. CosmicFusion.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to Supernatural Girlz Radio. I am your host, Patricia Baker. I am here with my co-host, PK, and our wonderful guest, Jane Seybold, who is a psychic medium, and she is here giving a wonderful gift to everybody who wants to call in for a reading or talk to Jane from the chat room. And also, Jane, I wanted people to know how to reach you if they want a private reading. What's the best way for them to do that?
Oh, they can call area code 480-309-0663, or you can reach me on my web at www.janeseybold.com.
Well, that's easy. Very good. Yeah. So, some people are shy. They don't want to be on the air, or they want a whole hour with you. And so they can do that easily from your website, janeseybold.com, or your phone number. Give that out again, if you would.
Area code 480-309-0663 and www.janeseybold.com.
Terrific. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So let's see. We have Vesna on the line. Vesna, you there?
Yes, I am.
Well, thank you for waiting. And what is your question for Jane tonight?
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you for taking my call. Well, I don't know if Jane, if you just kind of give a reading as to whatever you pick up, or if you need a specific question.
No, I think I can go with it. There were great changes that happened with you on this last adventure. And, it's almost to the point where you are trying to fit yourself back into this confined shoe and it's not working. Would you understand?
Oh, yes, I do.
Okay. Yeah. And so what happened is it just got extremely magnified. And so this is, how we get that the universe is communicating with us, because it becomes so apparent that what we're currently doing is not working, that, our body goes to the job, but all the time that we're there, our mind is somewhere else, because it's just waiting for the body to catch up, to the mind, because the mind has already moved on.
Right, right.
So it's all about, for you, about letting go and letting go. And it's like, this is the biggest thing, is like, if you're on a mountaintop, it's like letting go to know that either you're going to fly or else you're going to be caught, but there's nothing in between. And that's where you're kind of goosey on, is that, you're not sure of the next step. You see?
Right, right. Okay. So it sounds like I definitely just need to make up my mind and just go.
Let go is the word. This is, as Patricia said, it's the 9-year, it's the ending. Mm-hmm. And so we have to acknowledge that when things are ending, because if they don't end and we realize it, then what happens is that the universe will step in and end it for us to help us move us along the path. But this is the thing. If you could see where you're going with this, you're going to be so happy, because it's like a duck to water. You're going in the direction that's going to bring life to you and meaning, and that to others. What more could you ask for?
Yeah. Well, and that's exactly, what I want. So
it's just having the courage to do it.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you for your call.
Have a wonderful holiday.
Yes, you too. Thank you so much.
Now, before we go to our next caller, we've got another question from Roseanne, who is just on the line, but she wanted to ask you one more thing. She's saying, Jane, my mother is now living with me. How is that going to work out?
This is going to be an opportunity for mom and daughter to do some repair work, which I think is going to be phenomenal. And it's also going to be learning about respecting boundaries. I see nothing but good with this, because what's going to end up happening is that the relationship will actually start to merge closer together.
Well, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds very positive.
It's really learning about each person and, letting them be who they are. But there has been a need for repair work between the two of them. And it's a perfect opportunity. Because, when you're living together, you can't really get away from one another, right?
You're going to duke it out one way or the other.
You have to work it out.
Yeah.
So it'll be a good thing, though.
Okay. So there you go, Roseanne. So our next caller, William, welcome to the show. What's your question for Jane?
Hello, Jane. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Let me ask you this. I've been finding myself thinking about an old girlfriend from the past, a long time ago, and I was wondering if you had any insight on that. And the only other question I was going to ask is, do you see any improvement in my love life in 2017?
The lady that you're talking about, it seemed like when this has been over 20 years ago, is that correct?
That's right.
It looks like, yeah. And I felt like you left the relationship.
That's right.
Okay. So my question to you is, what do you think has changed in 20 years?
This is a rather long story, and I know you don't have time for that. What do I think has changed in 20 years?
Yeah, because I'm not feeling that she's changed that much in 20 years. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
And so it kind of would be like you would be revisiting, I guess the way to say it is it's like you're going to do the same thing expecting a different result, but I don't think there's significant change there to warrant that you would stay in the relationship.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah, okay. As far as, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
Did you have like a total of 3 relationships? Because I'm getting the number 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably.
Way to go, William.
You kind of pick the same theme of a woman. Okay. And so what's going to shift is that you're going to go in a different direction. And that's kind of what you've been looking to do, is find someone that is, you pretty much know you're your own person. And so it's somebody that's going to complement without control. And the flip side is that is be too insecure, if you understand, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The common denominator in this is you. And so what I'm seeing is you shifting from picking that type of person. And so it's going to open you up into a whole new level of different types of, women to encounter. I have to ask, do you like to dance, or what's with this?
I used to a long time ago, but let me just say one thing, is I tried that completely different type woman one time, and it didn't work out at all.
Well, neither did the other two.
One time isn't enough.
Yeah, neither did the other two. But it's finding somebody that's compatible with you, but allows you to be you.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah. I wouldn't necessarily, I think what happens is that many times when we meet people, it's an opportunity to see what doesn't work for us and acknowledge that and go, okay, that's great. I get it. And then move on to something else instead of going, well, that didn't work. I'm never going to try that again. It's like have a broader scope that, yeah, maybe this one didn't work, but you know what? Now I know what I want. Because sometimes we find out what we want by knowing what we don't want.
Right. Okay.
And so I wouldn't be afraid of that. You're a good catch.
Well, I like to think so.
Well, I think so too. You should
let me
send me
your. About this.
Go ahead.
If you got another minute.
Go ahead.
If you had another minute, I was going to tell you one more thing.
Okay.
This old girlfriend from the past. It was a situation where she wanted to get married, and I didn't want to get married at that time because I was much younger and not ready to get married. But so the only thing is the situation wouldn't necessarily repeat because I'm old enough where I would get married now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but see, there was more to that than that. Just not getting married. It was kind of like the maturity level was not there. Okay, that was number one. But number two, she felt like she was insecure. That would not work with you, from my perspective.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the time.
Just saying. But, you should send me your stats because there's a lot of single women that I know.
And I'll throw in a few,
You're going to be a
too.
matchmaker now. Wow.
I know. That's true.
That's right. Go for
All
it.
right. Well, I may do that.
I appreciate it, hon. You take care.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good night.
Thanks for your call, William.
That's cute.
Wasn't he a doll?
Yeah, well, relationships are always a challenge, though, because, the very thing that attracts you to that person, isn't that also the thing that you find very much like you want to get rid of it, control it? So many people I find do that to each other. It's the very thing they fell in love for. And then all of a sudden they get with that person and they want to change it.
Well, I think when we're dating, I know the first time I got married, it's like, it's very, you put on this other part of you, and then when you get married, you get to see the real one.
It's like being dressed up and the next time opening it up in your robe.
Well, here's a question for you, Jane, from the chat room from Tricia. She would like to know, have you ever come across information that you absolutely could not share with the person you were reading?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Give us an example. That's a good question, Tricia.
I remembered doing a reading for a woman, and her son had committed suicide. And many times what will happen is that they will bring information that happened within the last minutes of their life. And I remember what she had said versus what he was telling me. And sometimes, you just have to make, the judgment call as to whether or not to share. And there was no point in it. There was just no point. Just let it be. It was hard enough the way it was. If I thought it would have improved the situation any, I would have been most, happy to do that. But there was no way that it was going to make it any better. So,
now,
yeah.
When you do readings for people, do you also see angelic beings? Do they come through and give you messages as well?
I think there's the Catholic, because of the Catholic, I think they're still mad at me.
They've taken your wings. That's all there is to it.
I only saw wings behind one woman one time, and it floored me to death. And I was like, oh my, I guess they're not mad at me anymore. No, but normally I don't see angels, no.
Just that one time?
Just that one time.
Wings.
Just that one time, yeah. But, I've seen other, beings, but no, not angels.
Just what about guardian spirits for people? Because they say we all have a guardian angel or guardian spirit. Do you see that?
I'll usually be able to pull in the guide that's with them, And so, I can usually describe the guide or give the guide's name. But as far as the guardian spirit, no.
And what about solving crimes? Have you ever been asked on any cases, or have you ever helped to solve crimes that have been committed where the family comes to you and wants help in finding the body or any of those kinds of things?
No, I really have a deep respect, a profound respect for the people that work, and do that. But, you have to go into the darkness. And I was a very dear fan of Noreen Rainier's. I loved the work that she did, but I tried it once. And what I found is that when I went into the darkness, because that's what it is, you're going into the darkness, I pulled some of that back in, and it was very difficult for me to let go of that. And so I decided, you know what, that's just not for me. There are some people that can do ER and operating rooms. I'm not that, and I'm not one that can do the criminal case solving, no. But, if there's something like on TV that I get, I'll usually, see what I can do, but no, not on an active basis, no.
It's a tough thing. I know we've interviewed a number of psychics on the show, right, PK, that have said they won't go there. They absolutely will not work on crime-solving cases. And it's because a lot of them have said, look, I can't get the images out of my head.
Correct.
And it's too upsetting, so I won't do it. That's what makes a lot.
A special person to do that. We had one person on, and I'm not going to mention the name right now, but he did this for so long, but he had boxed himself in where he didn't take it with him. And I applaud him for being able to do that. But I would find it very difficult to cut that cord once you've stepped back into this side.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the thing of it was that I had an interview once with this guy that was doing police work, and 3 days, and this was so weird. My girlfriend set it up, and 3 days before I'm to have this interview with him, I'm like having these visions, like remote viewing of this, semi truck, as a refrigeration truck, and I'm passing water, and it made no sense to me, but I could see the guy clearly. And, when I did this interview 3 days later with this, police guy, at the end of the conversation, he goes, oh, is there anything that you want to ask? And I said, oh, by the way, are you looking for a serial killer? And he just kind of laughed it off. And I went, and it kind of threw me off guard. And I said, no, are you looking for a serial killer? And basically what came out of the conversation is he interviewed the guy that I was telling him about.
Mm-hmm.
And I could not get that guy out of my head. It was like it was popping up on my screen, and I couldn't shut it down. And I said, I'll never do that one again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that was the end. That was one time. It was an interview, and that was it. Didn't do it again.
All right. That's a tough thing. Now, here's another question for you. And this is from Daria. She says, my grandmother was an intuitive and always felt at peace. I am curious to know if you, Jane, have that same sense of peace about your life.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely, because I know I'm on path. And when you're on path, you're on purpose. And when you're on purpose, you're living what you came here to do. So, and there's a love in what you do. So yeah, it brings you peace. But, when you can participate and give somebody a reading and you see the spontaneous healing that takes place from the reading, it's the most amazing thing to be part of. Wouldn't you agree, PK?
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
I mean, it can't get any better.
Yeah, I agree too. It's like having a strong part in someone's personal awakening and or healing. There's nothing like it. I think it's the reason why a lot of us are here on the planet.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're working with people and you can see the shift in their face as you're working with them, not everyone is going to feel that they've got all the answers, but it's almost like something snaps all of a sudden, and it's like that look of peace or tranquility that comes over them for the information you're able to give them.
Oh, yeah. And then you see what happens is that the tears turn into happy tears instead of sad tears, because they know that they've connected and they believe that their loved one is still with them. It's the most powerful, amazing thing I've ever witnessed.
Yeah, it is a wonderful place to be when you can extend that kind of help to people. Well, Roseanne is back again. She has another question. And the question is, she has to meet with her lawyer tomorrow. How will that go?
Well, I saw a tube of toothpaste, and the toothpaste isn't coming out too fast.
That's Funny image.
I know we get symbols of all different kinds, right? So I just saw the toothpaste coming out, and it's like, it's coming out, but not. So I would say you're not going to get everything you want, but you know what? It'll be okay.
All right. There you go, Roseanne. That's what's going to happen. Now you got to report back and let us know if that is what happens.
Unless she wants to give me a little bit more detail. I just saw dollar signs, so this is affecting money too.
It is affecting money, I'm sure. Yeah. All legal cases affect money, don't they, Jane? My God.
Oh, sometimes it's just ending, the divorce, and sometimes it's just, no money. But this one, I saw the dollar sign, so this one has money to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, divorce still involves money, sweetness.
What?
I said divorce still involves money.
That's right.
The coming or the going.
A lawyer is money because you got to pay them, right?
That's right. I don't know of a free one yet, but I sure would like to find one.
Me neither. Yeah.
The idea is don't get married then.
I'm not. I haven't. I'm going to do it the hard way. I'm going to stay alone.
Hey, wait a minute. There's William.
That's right. That's right.
He's too young for me. I could tell by the sound of his voice.
Hey, it's the latest thing. Older women, younger men.
That's right. Dang.
Yes.
Oh, well. I guess I could try it maybe someday.
Yeah, maybe you should. Next year, 20.
I don't want to raise another kid.
Year. So, Jane, when you look into next year, what do you see? Do you do any kind of premonition work in general for the year?
It's so funny because when we were having the election with Hillary and Trump, I kept seeing the Secretariat. And I said to my husband, I believe Trump is going to get it, because wasn't Secretariat the one that won with 12 links? And it came from
that came from the rear, made it.
And that isn't that exactly what he did?
Oh yeah, and everybody's trying to make him the rear instead, but he's going to win it anyway. He'll do pretty good by us. He'll do pretty good by us.
Both of you, actually, PK also, Jane, predicted accurately months ahead of time, because I know PK, you and I talked about the election way back when, and I asked you to do some numbers on it, and you at that time said it was going to be Trump. So both of you were pretty sure about that, and Uri Geller, one of the guests on our show,
right,
also accurately predicted Trump. So what do you see for next year? Anything in particular?
I see Hillary still crying.
Oh, God, yes. And she should be. She's made the rest of us cry for a long time.
Well, no, I think what's happened is that, we have learned a lot from her is how to, relate or not relate to people. And so I think what we're going to see next year is more where there's going to be more of a communication in where we're connecting with the people instead of just talking at them. So that's going to be a really big shift. Trump is going to do some amazing things. He's not going to have an easy first time for the first, I say 3 to 6 months, but after that, I think you're going to see some real solid changes that will affect everybody in a very positive way. Look for one of the, I want to say the socialites, we're going to have a divorce coming up too.
Do you think that's already in the works?
I got to talk about, what is it? The Kardashians and the son. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, whatever that is, it's not working.
Well, it's not, I don't think it's even going to be a marriage, the rate it's going.
Well, I think you have to be around to be a marriage. And I don't think that they're not in the same proximity. So it's kind of like, I see that one falling apart.
Well, yeah, she wanted the name, and that's good for her, because she could be lumped in with the rest of the group, but it's not going to happen.
You mean the Kardashian? You should want the Kardashian.
She wants the Kardashian name. In fact, actually, she wanted to start marketing something using.
Oh, that's right. I read about that.
Yeah,
I didn't.
Oh God, I tell you.
In terms, Jane, of earthquakes, earth changes, there's been a lot of predictions made about those coming up fairly soon. Is that something that you also see?
We've had, I got to go back to, HARP, because I think HARP helps us a lot with the earthquakes that we have.
Okay.
And so I don't see that really shifting or changing. For the next year, I think there's going to be more instability with the water that we're seeing now. You saw it in North Dakota, with the pipeline, the DAPL pipeline. we're going to see more of that affecting the water. I truly believe that the next gold will be water and not gold itself.
Yeah, that makes good sense when you take a look at what's happening back east.
Absolutely. I truly believe that will be the new marketed gold is water, because it seems to be, we're screwing it up so bad.
You think?
Yeah. There's so many people that are going to need water. Yes. Well, thank you for sharing all of that with us, Jane. We're coming to the end of our time together, unfortunately, but we want to thank you so much for coming on the air and giving these gifts to our loyal listeners. Everybody, thank you so much for listening to our show week after week. We love having you here in the chat room, calling in. It's a blessing to us, and we thank you and wish you a very, very happy holiday season. We'll be back next week, though. We're not leaving you yet. We will be back next week with another show about the fairies. This is going to be a great way to end the year. Yes, it's going to be wonderful. And until then, we will see you on the Blue Highway. Good night, everyone.
Good night.